All right, so today, you guys, we're going to be talking about the Supreme Court. We're getting into the Supreme Court. We're going to be, over the next 2 days, we'll be discussing 5 specific cases. And through those 5 specific cases, you guys are going to be discussing not only how the Supreme Court works, why the Supreme Court chose those cases, and within the cases themselves, why are those particularly important to the to the time period that that case is being brought, okay? So for example, like, we know about Supreme Court cases, we hear about them, we read about them, but why do you think the Supreme Court chooses particular cases and decides to ignore other cases?
Because some cases are more important than other cases.
Okay, good. They're more important than other cases, but
Because of the controversy.
the controversy it causes, okay, so the importance, the controversy, okay? Edgar, you're gonna say something else?
And also, the Supreme Court has the power to choose which cases, but in other ways, some cases are, like you say, like I say, not very important, but the ones that are important to our country, that's the ones that they're mostly targeting me for.
You hit on something really important there, and you said things that are really important, okay? And what you'll find is that when we're going through these Supreme Court cases, or when I hand those out later, when you're looking at these cases, it's particularly important to the period itself, right? So for example, right, 2015, one of the cases we'll be looking at, right, is Obergefell versus Hodges, okay? And 2015, that Supreme Court case went up, and I'm not expecting you to know what that case is, but I'll throw it out there. Anybody know what that case was about? No. Okay, so I wouldn't think anybody would. So the Obergefell versus Hodges was about gay marriage. Okay, would the Supreme Court have chosen that case 20 years ago? No, right? So it was in this particular climate that the Supreme Court saw, that the Supreme Court saw that this was an important case that will be discovered. What's one that I've said that I think will make it to the Supreme Court?
I can put you out. Marijuana.
Marijuana, right?
And then the college one that's going on right now?
The college one that's going on right now, right? Another one that's going on right now in college, right, is about people getting, well, sorry, that's a different one. I was kind of on, the one that you're discussing right now, right, is the one that the kids are getting into colleges. That won't make it to the Supreme Court. That's more of a federal crime in where they're going to be arrested. There's not really a constitutional issue there. And that's what the Supreme Court looks at. What is being looked at in the Supreme Court about colleges is students are suing the United States that there are, for example, there are a lot of Asian students that are suing the U.S. government because they're going to Duke, or I forget which school it is. I wish I could remember right now.
Stanford.
Yeah, it's a school out east.
Yale.
Could be Yale, I don't remember. But anyways, these students are suing because there's a certain percentage of students that are getting in but they feel that there are students that are being left out because of a ruling that was back in the 60s, early 70s, which was